same thing which we needed to do it on the budget day as well. We may get or we may not get the moves, but we will prepare ourselves for it. What we have done is we have also taken the data in the OI Pulse. We have given you a new tab called Event Days. As of now, the budget. Going forward, we will be putting the election and also like in key dates like the RBI policy dates or like in any important events happening in the global markets and other things. All those things will be getting figured in the event day calendar. Now, I will be opening up the option chain page, both on the like in pre and the post budget for 2019, and then we will review it. Just give me a second. So we will be looking at the option chain data for the pre and the post so that we know how in the last 3 years the budget has been playing out and how we needed to prepare ourselves for that particular moment. What we have also done is we have taken out a report to a simple Excel format as well to just to guide you how it has been. So this is for the Nifty, which has been happening on like in last 3 years, okay, for both Nifty and the Bank Nifty. This is on the pre-budget day. It is similar to today. Okay, it is similar to today. What has happened? You might be looking at the date as July 5th. The only reason is the budget was on July 5th due to the election on that particular year. So we had the full-fledged budget submitted during the month of July once the new government came in. Otherwise, the usual budget date will be on the 1st of February. Now, what has happened one day before the budget in 2019? It opened at 11,947. Low was 11,942. High was 11,998. And what was the Nifty move for the whole day? 0.25. Absolutely print of silence. We had only like in a 40-50 point move for the whole day. Okay, this was one day before the expiry. Sorry, one day before the budget. On the Bank Nifty, the same thing happened here. Open and low was like an almost 35,525, 35,500. You had a 0.17 move. What does that mean? It had a whole day of 150 point move, nothing more, nothing less. If this is the day wherein you would not be seeing much of premium action at all. So people who would have been expecting a large move on those particular day, they would have been totally disappointed. This is on 2019. So on the day of the budget, how the chart looked like. I'll show you that. This is one day before the budget. You can clearly see this. This is a chart. The market was very, very range bound. Okay. They moved above the VWAP, moved below, moved above. This is not an ideal day for the option buyers. So what they are trying to do, they're just going to be like triggering the stop losses on both the sides. Someone who would have been expecting a large move, all those guys would have been completely wiped out of this market. Okay. So guys, the event days would be available. Just refresh it. Shift Control R, and you should be able to see it if you are an annual plan member. Any annual plan member or like in a 6-month plan member, you should be able to see this event date available to you. So this particular chart, we have taken it from outside because since 2019, we didn't have OI Pulse, so we had to get this chart from outside. So look at this. The data was pretty narrow, and the volumes were also like pretty thin. Now, no major volumes happening on that particular day. This is on the Nifty. On the Bank Nifty again, I'll just open that. You can clearly see there was one move which happened somewhere around like 11:30, and then it picked up and then went to a high and then closed somewhere near to the day end. It came closer to the level wherein it had like a quick fall here and there. Today, you can expect similar kind of a thing happening in the Bank Nifty. You will see like in one large candle appearing, going higher, and then as all of a sudden a big algo bar coming down. What they will be normally doing is they will try to take some positions during the consolidation phase, and then they will try to trigger the weekend stop losses in one algo bar. That's something which you can expect it on today as well. So this is on 2019, wherein we had a range bound move one day before the budget. On the day of the budget, Bank Nifty didn't do anything at all. Okay, only the Nifty fell pretty hard. Okay, and looking at this, the Nifty fell hard, like, and because some of the IT and then the Reliance and everybody were contributing, it fell pretty hard. So they went home, realized, okay, what are the goods and bads which has happened in the market and everything. They understood that, and the real move came in 2019 post the budget, which was on Monday. So they had 2 days. The budget was on Friday. They had 2 days, that is Saturday and Sunday, and then they came on Monday, and then the fall happened. I'll just show you the chart on Monday, how it has been falling as well. This is on the Bank Nifty. It started with a fall. Okay, it started with a fall, and never ever on that particular day, the super trend was getting touched till 2:30. This is what I would call it as a trend day. When you are getting like in a super trend not getting touched till 2:30, the market is going to be giving you an absolutely every opportunity for you to sell on rise. In this scenario, say for example, if you are not able to take a trade, your first trade would have come in here. Okay, 2 candles with more than 50k. The time is around like in 10:30, 11, and you would have gotten golden opportunity entering in this candle. This candle is more than sufficient. And then your first super trend rejection trade came here, and second one, but I wouldn't be avoiding this, but this one is a perfect one. And then never it gave an opportunity for the intraday players to take additional position because it was range bound, and then it fell hard, and then it consolidated. So people who are looking for it, so there are possibilities we may get like a silent move for today and tomorrow, and then a bigger move post the budget as well. That's exactly happened on this particular moment in 2019. This is the Nifty chart. Even in the Nifty, it fell harder. When I say it fell harder, look at this. The open was somewhere around 11,769. The low was 11,526, and then the close was at 11,569, which is a 200-point fall. So get ready for that kind of a move as well. Okay, so Bank Nifty and the Nifty didn't do much on day 1 and day 2. Day 3, they fell pretty hard. Bank Nifty, which was outperforming the Nifty on the budget day, couldn't sustain. They also fell pretty hard on this third day. So this is on 2019. So what has happened in 2020? The regular budget came in at around like in February, but for the first time, the market opened on Saturday for the budget session, and the budget happened on Saturday, and the trading was also happening on Saturday. How many of you traded on this particular day? The percentage change is nothing but from the previous day close, how much is a percentage of fall or rise. Okay, so this was on a Saturday. On Friday, similar to today, the market is doing some wild moves, right? Today, what is happening? The Nifty is 1.3% up. Bank Nifty is 0.5% up. It is almost like an opposite of this move. What is that? Like, and I would say like a Nifty is clearly like an outperformer. The Bank Nifty is an underperformer. So here, you can clearly see the Nifty was trading somewhere around 12,000 range, and you had a 0.54% move for the whole day. (31st). This is on the Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty on that particular day was 0.5% up. Nifty was 0.5% down. Can you see what they have done? They made some moves above the VWAP and below the VWAP couple of times. It is almost replicating today's chart on the Nifty, sorry, Bank Nifty. Let's see whether Bank Nifty has the potential to do the similar kind of a move, take it above. Okay, it opened higher, went lower, opened higher, went lower. One bottom formation. Will they do a double bottom formation similar to this? It is almost replica of this. Will they come back again, second time here, and then make a W and then move higher? That's something which we will be watching it in the second half. So market sometimes it is a pattern. Okay, market sometimes it is a pattern. Some of the past patterns will get repeated. We will get to see whether the 2020 pattern gets repeated here. Okay, this happened prior to the COVID scenario, so watch out for that. Now, one thing which is there, you can clearly see the OI buildup was happening at the lower level. They have been building up, and you can clearly see the shorts have started to cover their position, and the market have started to inch up higher and higher. This has happened in the second half. This on one day before the budget. What has happened on the budget day? Budget day was like a disaster. Why you would say disaster? The market was expecting something, and the like Nirmala Sitharaman gave something. 2.83% fall on the Nifty. Bank Nifty fell hard of more than 3.44. So Nifty 2.83, Bank Nifty 3.44. So how it all started? We needed to see the chart now. We will see that. Let's see the Bank Nifty chart. Morning, when it opened, it didn't had any kind of a clue that it is going to be falling like that. This is what we would be observing it on the budget day. Okay, this is what we would be observing it on the budget day. So morning, it didn't do anything at all. Almost till like in a 12:30, you can see the volumes are also like in slowly but surely picking up. But the major pickup happened after 12:30. Once the budget speech is over, it came down. Can you see this two kind of spikes? This is nothing but to trigger the weekend stop losses. Imagine someone who would be entering on the like in a short trade. What they would have done is they would have placed their stop losses somewhere around here. Above the VWAP, 40, 50 points above, they just would have placed their stop losses. These two candles are meant just to trigger those stop losses. Once the stop losses are triggered, they took it harder, and without even any gap, they started to fall and the volumes have started to pick up. This is something which we will follow tomorrow also. Don't blindly enter into a trade thinking that the market has taken a direction and then it is moving. You needed to give it at least an hour so that once the trend is getting confirmed, then you will get a significant move happening. There are few things which is going to be very, very difficult to gauge this year compared to the last years. This year, the market is already on a sell-off. One more thing, the global markets are at like a dicey situation. When I say dicey situation, the US markets have fallen off from the cliff and it has taken some support. And trying to inch up. In this scenario, we needed to see whether the global markets is also going to be helping our markets. What is that which we wanted it? At least I have few budget expectation. If this is going to be taken care, then we may get to see some kind of a relief rally. What are those? Imagine now that the like in long-term capital gains has been increased in the past couple of years, and then you have the STT and everything is going up to please the traders, to please the foreign fund managers and others. Imagine we are bringing down the STT, or if there is going to be announcement on the LTCG, both can have a positive impact. Along with that, if budget is going to be saying something on the income tax structure, say for example, giving the money to the common man to make them like and spend, that is again going to revive the economy. The third one, imagine there is going to be like some kind of a further decrease in the corporate tax structure. Currently it is at 20. You know what all happened when they brought it down from 30 to 20 and so on. Imagine if there is going to be like a further reduction in corporate tax structure, then you will see a larger move happening on the Bank Nifty and Nifty. That will trigger a massive move on the upside. That's one thing. Next, on the contrary, if any of these are not happening, if it is going to be like in a populist budget, when I say populist budget, with the elections coming in, the Uttar Pradesh election and the 5-state election, and if a government wanted to win, what they will normally do is they will go for a populist budget. When I say populist budget, announce measures which is going to be for the middle class and poor, a lot of like schemes, a lot of money getting into them, then that may also spook the market a bit. Why? because they needed to spend a lot of money. They needed to buy at a higher cost. They will not have the sufficient tax revenue coming in. And already with the fuel and the food and everything like spiking, with the global market spiking, that market may not like it. Okay, so that is something which we needed to be looking at tomorrow as well. So we will be watching very carefully, and this is like a big clue which you are getting it from 2020 budget, how the sell-off started and what they have done to trigger the weekend stop losses. Imagine once your shorts short has been covered here, you would not be in a position to immediately enter. That is the main criteria for them to do this. They don't want you to re-enter into a trade when the large moves happening. And imagine if they have already made a move from 3,700 to 30,200, will you take a trade? Because already 500 points down, you will not be in a position to go on aggressive do it. But they know this is your weak area, and they will keep on doing it. And this is the perfect opportunity. When the fall has started and everything has started, look for every rise as a golden opportunity to sell. Okay, unless and until it moves higher with volume. If there is no volume which is going to be supporting the up move, I will use every opportunity to sell this market once again. That exactly happened on this particular day. Now, moving on from that, this is for the Bank Nifty. We will see the Nifty chart also for that day. This is on the OI data. I'll just show you the chart. This is on the budget day. So budget will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. guys. The budget will be at 11 a.m. The same thing happened in Nifty as well. 2 candles confirming the fall. There are 2 just to make sure that the stop losses are getting triggered for the people who would have entered early. And then the fall started. This is the big one. And from here, no looking back, almost from 11,965. The fall went to 11,800, then to 11,600, and it went back to 11,800. Again came to 11,620 for the whole day. So the sell-off has been going to be there, but it's going to be tight one some days wherein they just wanted to shake the weekends out, and this was evident in 2020 budget. So what has happened post the budget? Saturday, Sunday was there for them to recoup and everything, and then they came to Monday, wherein by the time the market analyzed, they thought that no, we have fallen way too much. We should not have reacted this bad, and moreover, some kind of an LIC funds and other things would have been coming in as well. But the most important thing which I want you to look at is 11,654 was the close. The open was 11,598. They gave you an opportunity, even if you would have carried home the position, considering you are getting the market closing at the day's low, you got a golden opportunity at the open itself to exit your position. Only for the people who couldn't exit it at the open, they would have completely trapped them. The same thing happened here as well. The close was at 29,873. The open was somewhere around 29,729. The low was 29,530. I'll show you the chart as well. So you would have got an opportunity to get an exit. But if you would not have listened to it, that's when you would have gotten problem. So opening, it went lower at open. It would have given you an exit opportunity, and then it went lower. And then it went higher. Again, it started to play in a very, very narrow band. So always remember, whenever they are trying to close on the previous day, say for example, previous day at the day's low with a strong volume, you will get an opportunity the following day to get an exit. Use that opportunity to get an exit. Even today, somehow the Bank Nifty pulled it, and then they went above the PE price, gave you an exit opportunity somewhere around in 10:30, 11. And then they took the market lower. If you remember in the morning also, I told you very clearly, the open and high on the put side is something which I'll be keen to watch for today. And they did it exactly the same way. So they played it on the open and high on the put side, made sure that they hit the open and high. And also they made money on the previous day position, and then they are making it. So here, the bigger clue is when the market is closing it at the day's low, On the following day, you will get an opportunity to exit unless and until there is like a massive announcement coming over the weekend, wherein the government is like saying some clarifications on the budget, and that is helping the market to understand, no, whatever we thought it is like and wrong, and the government has clarified, and we will go higher. If that is going to be the case, then we will get to have that kind of a plan as well. Unlike these two budgets, here the budget didn't have much of opportunity to review. They didn't have much of opportunity to review post the budget. Okay, so they had only one day to go. But the interesting thing is, this particular budget, it was like an absolutely a roller coaster and a beautiful one. The market really liked it. Everything, whatever that they saw, everything was beautiful. This is before the budget. Okay, this is before the budget. You can clearly see it opened at 13,984. This particular chart is available on our like an OI Pulse itself, because OI Pulse has been from September 2020. We got the data. So everything is going to be available to all of you. So here, you can clearly see this is the OI data. This is the candles here. And you can clearly see this is one day before the expiry, one day before the budget, sorry. They went lower and then picked up pace, and then they went and literally closed it at the day's low. The OI also went and closed it at the day's low. So this is a one day before the expiry. This is for Nifty. This is for the Bank Nifty. Look at the Bank Nifty. The same scenario was very flat. Sudden move at around like 2 o'clock. Expect a similar kind of a move to be playing out today as well. They will be starting to position themselves. Okay, so 2 o'clock, they started to move higher, played there, came down, booked some of the weekends would have booked their like in a profits or losses or whatever it is. Then they stayed there. Next, on the day of the budget, on the day of the budget, you can clearly see it opened at somewhere around 39.40. Okay, the budget started somewhere around 11 o'clock. The budget announcement came and closed somewhere around 12:30, 12:40. Till the time you had the market like in a very narrow band. Whenever you see this kind of a bar emerging, look at that, the three white crows and then the like in white soldiers, sorry, three white soldiers, and then the big bar coming in. This is like a golden opportunity for someone who is looking for an aggressive positional trade on a budget day. So till this moment, it opened at 39.44. It was at 31,450, almost like a 1,000-point move. From there, another 2,000-point move happened on that particular day. So the Bank Nifty had a 7.8% move. Nifty had a move of more than 4.5%. So close to that, these guys have literally rallied. And one more thing, a bigger clue, the OI is building up. Can you see what has happened here? Little bit of profit booking, and then still the price is going. Clearly a sign wherein both the profit booking and the short covering started to emerge somewhere around here. So this particular momentum is what we wanted to see it. Guys, whenever you see a single candle giving more than 100, 200 points, and that too happening with like a 200 to 500K volume, those are going to be like a big move, which is going to be helping you. And clearly the OI is also going along, which is what the sign which I wanted to see it on a budget day. What is the sign? You can look at the candle here. Opening was 31,522. The close was 31,742. That is like an almost 220-point candle. The next one, 31,726, 31,980, another 260-point candle. Third candle is our entry, 31,895, the low, 32,92, almost another 200 to 300 point. If you guys are missed it, every dip, if you're going to be getting it, almost a 600, 800 point. One thing which I have realized, I was telling you about the 50K and 75K volume, right? There are days When you are getting the volume to be more than 200 to 300K in 2-3 consecutive bars, that particular day, if historically what I have seen is that particular day, the Bank Nifty has moved above 4 to 5% and Nifty has given more than 3%. I repeat, whenever you get to see intraday 200 to 300K volume bar and the Bank Nifty is moving 200K, like in 200 points in a single candle or 2 consecutive candles, those are the days wherein I have seen more than 4% moves on the Bank Nifty, which we tested it and we found that it's been happening. Yes, the problem here is going to be on the RSI. When you see this kind of a move, you will normally see the RSI getting above that 80-85 mark. I know this is going to be a very tricky one. What you normally needed to do is don't even wait for the RSI to cool down below to 70. When it comes to 80 and 78, already the RSI, we will need it to start taking positions. I repeat, on those days when you are having like this kind of a wild move, you're not going to be seeing the RSI cooling off at all. The reason is everybody wanted to take this market higher and higher. They will feel that they are not getting an opportunity to make money. They will take this market higher. Once again, guys. Usually the RSI on those days, if you go and look at it, I'll just see if I have the chart for that one as well. You can clearly see, I don't have the RSI chart here as well. Okay, but the most important thing is when the volume is spiking up, if the RSI is going to be somewhere around that zone, try to make use of it. Okay, so RSI, it will not even come below the 50 mark. If the RSI is coming down, using that opportunity, I would definitely try to take a trade. Guys, when plenty of money has gone on that particular direction, we will make use of that to take the trade on the upside. But most important thing, what many people do is they take the position here itself. They think that the market is going to be falling, or they're going to be thinking the market is going to be moving up, and then they hold the position. When the actual move comes in, sometimes we get to lose out the real moves. That is a possibility on a day like today. Okay, so watch out this. Don't try to make a large loss one day before the in a budget, so that you're automatically or psychologically you will be weak on budget day. You will not be in a position to take a trade, and in front of your eyes you will be seeing large moves. There are days wherein some of you wanted to become a positional player, right? On days like this will be the ideal one for you to become that. Now, we talked about how the move has happened and other things. One thing which I want you to share here is what the market has done here. Where did these guys are closing? Where are they closing on that particular budget day? Day's high. Whenever you see the market on the budget day, either it is closing it at the day's high or a day's low, you will always have a follow up. And that too, when you're having a large move like this, okay, large move like this, almost a 4% and a 8% move, you will normally get to see a follow up. After 315 to 330 is when you needed to decide your BTST. There are days, I'll tell you two scenarios which can play out. This is extremely bullish. Okay, this is extremely bullish. There are days wherein you would get a move like this and it will go till here, and then it will go and consolidate and close here somewhere around from 33,180. It will close at 32,800. What they are trying to do is they are trying to give and people who are bought here, either you guys exit, or if you want, you take an overnight risk. So they are making sure that I'm going to be doing a gap up, but whether you have the conviction to hold it along with me. There are some players who will lose out. There are some players thinking that it has fallen from the day's high. They will go and take a put trade. That is to trap them. this is not an ideal moment for an put trade to be taken. Don't ever underestimate when the market is closing it at the day's high or on a day's low, especially during the event. You can expect a follow up. Okay, you can expect a follow up. So what has happened after that? It closed at 33,485. It opened at 33,600. Within 15 minutes, it went all the way to 34,740. And then it started to consolidate. And then the profit booking came in. How we know that the profit booking came in? You can clearly see the OI data dropping literally. And then it took like support somewhere around 33,850. It didn't close with the day's low. It again bounced back to the same level of 34, not 700, but at least it went to 34,400. So here, it would have trapped the people who would have gotten fresh entry. When you already have a 7% move, and if you're trying to chase another like a 4% move the following day, this is where the RSI plays out very big. Day one, I'm not worried much about the RSI. Day two, I'm worried about the RSI factor because they know the event has played out. Now the market has moved higher. Now let us book the profits because from almost 30,000, what was the level you guys saw it? If it has seen this level, these guys have almost moved from 30,200 to almost 34,400. Almost a 4,000 point rally, which has happened. So naturally, you will get to see some kind of a profit booking happening at the higher level. Don't try to chase it on the second day. Tell me honestly, here, many people would have lost their capital. In spite of the market being on the right side, you being on the right side and everything, they would have lost their capital on this particular day. The reason is they would have chased these candles. And when the move happened towards like in 34,500 to 34,400, 500 points, none of them would be able to place their stop losses. Never ever try to do it on the post budget event unless and until there is nothing has happened the previous day. Everything has been flat, quite normal. And then the move is happening, then we can always chase it. But if you're chasing it, once the actual move has happened, you will be the last one who would be giving an exit to the people who would have bought it on the previous day. Here again, the guy who would have bought it the previous day, he would have made another 2-3% higher. The guy who would have bought it at the day's high, he would have still be at a loss only. Both these cases. Nifty rallied close to 7% on all 3 days put together. The Bank Nifty rallied close to 12% on that particular day. So 3 days put together, that's a big, big move. Never, again, I say, never go against the trend. Okay. Even on this particular year, the 2020, they gave an opportunity for you to exit in the morning. But if you have not listened to it, then you would have got stuck. That's exactly the same scenario even here as well. Now, we have seen the Nifty chart and then the Bank Nifty. Hope this is helpful, guys. So far, like, and how you guys would, have you ever done this analysis, how the market has behaved on the last three, like in budgets and other things? Have you ever done that? Always keep doing this. Okay, you needed to know how the patterns are getting evolved. Okay, so you needed to see where exactly the things have happened, how they have been able to do it, why it is like in playing an event day is very important, how you needed to look at the chart. All these are going to be very important. In the past, we never like can do that. Okay, so please keep this as like a big one. Now, this is, we have seen it on the chart aspect. Now, we will go to the next step. You guys needed to know how to play. I'll just open this guy again. I will go from 2021. Okay, we have seen the chart and other things. Now I will open the option chain. You needed to know how the option chain behaved one day before the expiry, one day on the day of the like in budget, and then the one day after the budget. So we will see 3 scenarios. Now, this is today's one. This is your today's. Can you see what's the IV data at this current juncture? 50-50. 750, 675. I'll just go back to last Monday and then I'll show you something. $30 was the IV levels on both the sides. The premiums were somewhere around 400 and 374. There is a spike of more than 20 points in the VIX there, sorry, the IV there. And you can clearly see the IV at 30, it is already elevated. Still the premiums are crazy. Almost like in 400 rupees at the money is like in crazy for me. Now, coming back to the current series, the IV is a lot more crazy, 50 and 50. Based on the PPT, what I have shared, what did I say? When the IV levels are above 40, stay away from the markets or play a short straddle. But this is on a usual market scenario. What we are currently witnessing is purely based on budget angle. When it is a budget, you can expect some wild moves. Many short straddle players, even big players, would be staying away on a market like this. Trust me, guys, none of them would be like really willing to participate in this kind of a market. They know it is going to be like a complete disaster if one move which is going against them. Not everybody is going to be doing the manual trading, right? So if one move goes against them, they will be completely at a disaster. So here, playing at the IV levels of 40-40 itself is a tough one. Now, as an option buyer, your chances of winning when the IV levels are around 50-52 is very, very low. Why? Because at the money is at 37,800, which is trading at 759. That means to get this premium before the expiry, I need the market to move another 800 points just to get this. Imagine if there is not going to be a major announcement coming either on the positive side or on the negative side tomorrow, you might get to see the IV crash happening on both the sides. That is the big problem with this market. People who wanted to do a long strangle. Long strangle should not be used now. Instead, I would use it post the budget. When I say post the budget, imagine tomorrow evening, once the IV crash and everything happened, you do not know what are the overnight things which is going to be happening, how the budget is going to be decoded the overnight, and then the following day you are going to be getting a gap up or gap down based on the budget expectation. Post a budget, then we can think about the long strangle, not at this current juncture. When the premiums are crazy high, please try to avoid the long strangles. 52, it's not an ideal scenario if you are looking at it. Usual scenario would be 30 or 20 or 25. But considering what the VIX has been doing, staying above the level of more than 20, you would bound to get the IVs also higher. Why the IVs are higher? Naturally, purely because the the sellers who are creating the position, they wanted to ensure that they don't want to incur a major loss. How can they avoid that? They will say the buyers, guys, we are ready to offer this particular strike at this premium. Are you ready to buy it? The trade is still happening. Okay, the trade is still happening. That is my trading application. If you look at this, the trade is still happening at 700 rupees or 600 rupees or whatever it is, because there are buyers who are coming in and buying it here. As long as the buyers are coming in, the sellers will be happy to give it. But they wanted some kind of a protection for themselves. That's the reason you see the premiums being very high. Just give me a minute. Okay. I hope you are not able to hear others' sound now. Please confirm. Okay, great. Guys, playing a short strangle, yes, you can try it. The only worry is, if there is going to be a sudden move, are you ready to adjust your positions accordingly? If someone is playing a short strangle on this one, you can do that, provided you have sufficient capital to do the adjustments as well. What history has told us? History has told us, Shiva, you can expect some wild moves on the budget day. 2.83, 3% or 4%, and then 5% and 8%. These are some wild moves. Then if you are ready to prepare for this, then yes, you can go for the short strangle. I would sincerely say, if you're new to this, I would avoid it. Instead, I would wait for the breakout or breakdown to happen and then participate in that particular day's action. Now, coming back here, one day before the budget, you are getting to see the IV levels at crazy high of 50, 52. I'll also show you the IV chart of the active strikes here. This is for the current series, right? You can clearly see in the morning, the IV levels were somewhere around 48, and then it went for 51, went up to like in 54. Now it is trading at 51, 51. When the IV levels are going to be more or less the same on both the sides, it is going to be mostly premium erosion. When I say premium erosion, you are not going to be seeing a major premium erosion. You might see like in only a few rupees of move here and there, not a major one. The reward, the risk reward which you're going to be getting it is going to be very minimal on this particular day. At this juncture, avoid any major trade at this juncture. Don't try to like and complicate yourself. You already, some of you would have got your 1%. Then stick to that. Then stick to that. Don't go by this particular like trending OI data. Why I say you don't need to go, but like in thinking that it is a bearish, they have not created massive positions. How do we know that they have not created massive position? Just do and compare it to steady. This is on Monday currently. Look at this, 31 lakhs to 12 lakhs. Just go only 1 week back. Can you see this OI? At around like in 10:30, it was already like in 50, 50, 30, and it is almost similar to this. I wanted to see a difference like this. If it is happening by 11:30, already 11:50, right? Are we seeing like an 80 lakhs on the call side to 20 lakhs on the put side? No. Okay, currently they have just built up 30 lakhs, another thing. That means they are still playing in the morning level. They are not even ready for like any major moves. I am not seeing OI getting increased. I wanted to see a significant OI buildup happening. As of now, none of them are willing to do that. This is last week. Let's look at 1 week before. Can you see the difference? Every week the OI has been building up steadily. They have been like in writing, and then they're just making a move 90, 30 and so on. But this week we are not seeing that. This is where I want you to prepare yourself how they are making a move. Okay, that's very, very critical in this market. This is almost one towards the Jan 10th. Okay, there is not much happening there. Now, coming back, this is not giving me a sufficient confirmation to say I'm extremely bearish. No, I wouldn't be. Is the Nifty giving me a clue on the bullish? Yes, it is. It is giving me all the bullish signs because they are not writing anything on the call side. They are only taking positions on the put side, which is giving me some kind of a comfort saying that Shiva, like, and even if they're going to be making a move, it is going to be on the call side. So be careful. Don't try to take any kind of an aggressive trade. It is giving me that clue. Okay, that's absolutely fine. But will I be aggressive considering Nifty has already crossed 250 points? I would sincerely say I would wait it for tomorrow. Every lower level, it has given you a buy opportunity. But what is the premiums are doing? Can you see this? This one went all the way to 185, 190, again came back to 210. Nothing more, nothing less. A 15 rupee move has been what happening from the morning on the premium side. Okay, so don't even bother. This is not on the future. This is a collective strikes of all these. This is on the futures. Can you see what's happening here? Not much of OI change, either on the long or on the short side. They're compensating here and there, but they're not making a major move. They're not making a major move. So as of now, the Nifty and the Bank Nifty is trying to inch up higher. Bank Nifty is moving higher. Nifty is also inching up. This is the first 100 25K volume coming up for the bank nifty. Still the volumes is not picking up, but they are just making a small move on the upside. Okay. And good news is all your parameters are intact now, including the PSR, including the VWAP, everything is giving you a buy signal. But I would love to see the two candle theory playing out on the upside for me to get comfortable to take a position on the upside. At this juncture, that's not clearly visible. Now, coming back on the IV data, 52.52, premiums are crazy. You're not going to be getting like a major move. Please be careful. Don't try to go for aggressive positioning until and unless some big money comes in and puts in their money now. Okay. Guys, all the sell signals is now completely closed for me. The reason is it has almost triggered the stop loss on this one. Okay, even if there is a signal here, this candle should have been your exit. The reason is it would have given you like a 20-30 rupee move. You should have out. Now, if you're holding it, I wouldn't be holding it. Okay, now the market is moving higher above the VWAP, super trend, PSR, everything is giving me a buy signal except the volume parameter. If the volume is also jumping, then you can expect a move. On days like today, don't give too much of importance to the signal and other things. These guys are going to be positioning for the event. It is not like a usual like a regular day affair wherein you just keep on taking a trade. No, they will make a move on either side, and you will witness both the sides. The premiums are not going to melt. Why? With the like in a one day to go for the like in the budget session, you are not going to be seeing significant premium moves happening. What they will normally do is, even if the move is happening on the call side, you will not see significant premium erosion happening on the put side. They will hold till the following day. And then once the event is over, then only you will see the premium erosion happening big time. Okay, so wait for it. Don't try to go for aggressive positioning. This move is purely based on whatever the open and high move that they have done. I think there is one open and high which is pending, right? This is a possible candidate which can be possibly taken out today or by tomorrow morning based on the moves, and then they will take a decision. So how they do it, that's how like, and they have the money in their pocket, right? Every 1 hour, they know this is what the positions you guys are creating in. They will just pump in the funds, take the market, make the opponent party to cover up some position. If they are covering up the opponents or covering their position, automatically you have no other choice. The market has to move up. Then that is the area wherein they will try to book their profits. Guys, usually the profits are not going to be booked unless and until the opponent player gives up. Okay. All the moves, whatever that would have happened here, imagine the put buyers and the short sellers would have been pumping in the funds here. They would have done enough funds. And if they would have been smart, they would have, some of them would have exited here itself. But if they are thinking that it is going to be like in a big drop here, imagine now from a level of almost, one sec, from a level of almost 37,760 to 38,80, it is almost a 400-point recovery. If these guys are going to be holding their position, they are already sitting on a 400-point loss. Now the buyers have taken it above the VWAP. So now buyers are having an edge compared to the sellers now. This is on the bank nifty, right? So now what they needed to do, pump in another 100 or 200 crore, take another 100 points. Then these guys will go like in for like in some kind of a crazy move. What they will do, they will say, no man, these guys are taking it higher and higher. Let me not retain my loss. Instead, I will book my loss. When they are booking the loss, what will happen? They will cover their position. When you're taking the position away, you will be ready to buy it at any price. That's when you will see the volume spike. Can you see this? You will be seeing this happening on the OI here. If the market is moving higher and if the OI is coming down, that's a first sign of a short covering happening. Okay, so that clue is also going to be available to you. Now, this is on one day before the budget last year. Now let's look at on the day of the budget. What has happened here? There was a big move. Every move has happened. The market went almost to 33,000 on that particular day. The maximum open, the strike available was 33,200. That's the reason you don't see any values beyond that. So 33,200, and the market has moved almost 3,000 points, right? Imagine if someone who would have bought it like in 31,500 or 31,000, 32,000 on that particular day, he would have been sitting on a 700% gains, and they would have literally lost 90% on the opposite side. Okay, so think about 32,500 on that particular day. I'll just open up the 32,500. You can clearly see, or 32 first I will open it. You will get to know how they have positioned themselves. Can you see this? One day before the expiry, one day before the budget, 29th, 125, 299, day's close was 154. It was a 34% increase in OI, 80% increase in OI, and 34% increase in price. Perfect. One more thing to note on the other side, 32,000, it's a round strike. Though it has increased by 34%, they didn't fall by 40% or 50% on the other side. Even here, they are holding their premiums. Can you understand? One day before the budget, they are not ready to book their like in profit or loss. They know budget can give me any kind of a move, either on the upside or on the downside. I'm not going to be booking my profit or loss here. Instead, I will wait for the next day. Imagine the kind of money the sellers would have made here. From 1,500, next day opened at 1,237, went to a high of 186, and then low of 84 and closing it at the day's low. This is pure brutal one. Almost from 1,500, they brought it down to 100. Here, the 154 opened at 163. The day's low was also 163. And once the sellers were not able to pull the prices lower with the budget coming in with like a positive momentum, it went to a high of 1,492, went and closed at 1,274. And did the IV crash? No, it was at like 40 and it came to 39 and 35. But what is a big clue here, even on the IV here? There is a big clue you are getting it on the IV. What is IV? IV clue here. What did I say about the IV? Buyers are there on the call side. How do we know that? We needed to see the IV also higher on the call side, correct? We need the momentum to be there and the IV also to be there. So imagine this is the scenario which is playing out. Premium on high IV if the market is against the trend. But here, the IV is on the call side, 25 points higher, and the premium is going to be there, but it's a double-edged sword. Good news is, it is closing it at the day's high, and the buyers are carrying their positions home, which is a very, very good sign. And what has happened here? The next day, this is on 2nd Feb. This is when the real move happened. We looked at the 32,000, right? Can you see what has happened here? This one, big short build up, 35 to 7 lakh, 106, opened at 50, went to a high of 76, came to 29. Here, from 5 lakh 25, the long build up, short started to cover. Next day, they thought there is going to be profit booking. No, instead the market went higher. The shorts were completely trapped. It went from 1,274 to 1,644, went to a high of 2,676, and then closed at 2,314. Powerful short covering happening for almost 2 days. But the only thing is, people who would have bought it at 2.6, they would have been the ones who would have lost it, but still, they gave you enough opportunity. Now, look at the IV at these levels now. What is the clue you're getting it based on the IV now? It is another 2 days before the expiry. The IVs is still not crashing. Why? Because the previous day you got an 800% move. The next day you got another 300, 400% move. The buyers are still flocking. But you're getting a minor clue here. What is the clue now? Are you able to see the difference? 38 to 42 on the IV now. IV on the put side is slowly inching up. Okay, IV on the put side is slowly inching up. I'll see if I can get the data on February 3rd. Yes, we are able to get it. Can you see what has happened on the February 3rd? It's a beautiful story building out. I will just open up for 34,000. It opened at 561, went to a high of 947, came back to 758. This is on 3rd, wherein the premiums on at the money and everything, it's not moving at all. You will get 20-30%, but the clue already came in on 1 day before that itself. What is the clue? Guys, we have been rallying on 2 days. Now at the higher level, we are getting to see some kind of an exhaustion. How do we know that exhaustion? The IV levels is going to be crashing. The next day on Wednesday, the IV literally crashed on the call side. The premiums are not moving much at all. The premiums were at the money and in the money. They were giving only like an hardly an 20-30 rupee move in spite of Bank Nifty giving you a 500 point up move. Remember this, Bank Nifty was on a roll. Why I say that? 8% on February 1st, 3% the next day, and then another 1.5% on the next day. So what has happened on the expiry day then? They literally went for the moon once again on the expiry day. This was like one of the crazy period wherein you would have seen the market continuously taking it higher and higher and higher with non-stop rally for the whole day. Okay, non-stop rally for the whole day. Guys, does it make sense now to analyze the data the way we have been doing it? This is on the last expiry, sorry, last budget. This would have given you a clue how once the market positioned itself for something big, how they're going to be taking the whole week. They just wanted to write all the puts. They just wanted to give a short covering move on the call side. They just strapped all the call sellers on that particular expiry. So they would have literally been panicking because it would have been a 5,000 point move. These guys would not have prepared for that at all. That's the reason I'm telling you, we will have some wild moves happening even post the budget. Let's get ready for that. Okay, so this is even day for the last one. Now, we got the moves, how the last budget was. Okay, it was an absolutely a rollicking one. What is currently happening is similar to we are not getting this kind of a move. Currently, we are getting a move which is close to 1%. This is on the current series now. 51-51. I'm not expecting a major premium move to be happening today, but the premiums and the IVs are absolutely crazy. Bank Nifty is 51-51. Watch out for the Nifty IV levels. It is at 37 and 39. 37 and 39. If you're a straddle player, you're not going to be getting much of premiums today. Please avoid it. They know when to take a position. Now look at this. I'll give you one clue here. What is the clue you're getting it here? This is the data for the last 1 week. I just wanted you to understand it, how it is going to be playing out. I want you to look at the data from 24th Jan, and then you analyze and tell me what you're witnessing. 24th Jan, the bank, the 17,300 call. 473, 472 was the high, 221, 261. 44% fall, big increase in OI, short buildup. Next day, 190 was the open, went to a high of 303, closed at 294. There was an increase in 12%, but the open interest buildup was much bigger. First day, shorts built up the position. Next day, longs building up the position. Got it? Now, next day, shorts are there, longs are there. Both have come into the system for this week. Next one, 200, 249, 127, 185. 37% drop in the price, 137. The guys who have return, they are back again. They were able to pull down the price from 294 to 185. They have increased it. So still, we are not sure whether these longs have like got an exit out of this. So we needed to see that whether they are getting an exit or not. Again, the shorts yesterday on Friday, they used a golden opportunity, right? What was a golden opportunity? It opened at 222, went to a high of 283. If you are smart, who would have built up a long position here, you would have got an exit here. But if you had not done that, yes, at the day end, you would have felt, oh no, man, I got completely trapped, because the shorts once again pulled it up, but they were not able to pull down the price by 50%. They were able to pull it down, but they don't do it on a major way. Now, who's getting trapped here? Again, the price is coming near to this area of 300. 294 is the price, but the longs are coming back into the system. Is it giving you a confidence that I should be carrying the long or carrying the short here? Don't just blindly go by one side of the story. Always listen to the other side of the story as well. Okay, don't blindly go by one side of the story. Look at what has happened on the other side. From 25th, we'll see it. 485, 284 was a close, 2 lakh, fine. Next day, 320, 349. From 284 to 349, went to a high of 564. So from a high of 554, they almost dropped 200 points. Again, they went long. From 349, they went to a high of 375, 355. There are some people who would have bought it at the higher level. They are still trapped here. The price every day, it has been falling. The longs have built up, but they were not able to move the price higher. What is the clue here you are getting it? Though the market trying to fall, you are not able to see that price happening in terms of like in the move happening on the upside, which is clearly suggesting the longs who would have built it, it was a weak long. It's not an aggressive like a build up wanted to take the market lower. Now from 11 lakh, it has gone to 25 lakh. The price has fallen almost to 43. We are almost getting our Q2 fulfilled, right? What is our Q2? We want 50% fall and 50% increase in OI. We are almost getting it there. Now the only question mark is, will they sustain this? As of now, the shots are heavily in favor of the writing the puts. They just wanted to write as many puts as possible. But what I'm not getting a conviction is, though the price has moved 70%, I'm not seeing significant long buildup happening here. I would love to see this 24 going towards like in 30, 35 lakhs, which is what is the worry now. We needed these guys also to build up some aggressive long positioning. Are you able to understand where you are thinking? You not only needed to like and think about the people from the other side, you also needed to see whether the buyers are coming in good numbers to take this market higher. Now, that's a reason you are seeing a lower IV. If the buyers are flocking in here, naturally the OI data will also be going up higher. The percentage of rise will also be higher. Everything would have been favoring. Why? Because the put side, the sellers are absolutely in there. We just wanted the buyers to be coming in. Otherwise, you will see the premium erosion happening. That's going to be the one scary part here. It's as simple as it gets. Are they going for the open and high? Have they done that? Looks like they have done that, right? All the open and high is done. So I was telling you about the Nifty open and high on that 230. This one is done. This is the only one. This is not a round strike, so I wouldn't be giving too much of importance to it. Only for the round strikes on the Nifty, I would give too much of importance. To 200 to 240, it went, hit it. On the Bank Nifty, this is the only guy currently trading somewhere around like 550 odd zones, and it needed another 50 more points. And whether it is possible, very much a possibility. Okay, so that is something which I want you guys to be watching out for now. So good. So market now, clearly 300 points uptick. Nifty, from morning I've been screaming, it's a buy on dips. And the Nifty has given you all the right reasons for you to be on buy on dips. And every move has been giving you the rewards there. Clear? Guys, as I told you, for open and high, go through the document. You needed to see on certain days how they do it. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful concept. This has taken me several years to decode that how they do the open and high. But if you understood that, then you will know why they do it and how they do it and why they consistently go and do it. It's about fulfilling someone's ego. Tell me honestly now, looking at the way the Bank Nifty is moving higher, what was the need for it to then fall in the morning? Was it not just to go and hit that number and come back? The 665, now they have hit it and then they are coming back pretty hard. That's a beauty about the Bank Nifty. Guys, that's exactly I was telling you. Though the market may fall, Nifty may fall on Bank Nifty, IT and other guys will support it to take this market higher and higher. That's the reason I don't want you to be bearish on. Did I say to be bullish or bearish on Nifty from morning? Correct? And is the data supporting? Yes. All the data is supporting us to the core. What has happened now? From 41 to 51, it went to 4 lakh. Now it has gone into negative, which is clearly suggesting the writers on the call side are absolutely running for cover and they don't want to be there in any kind of a trade. So now, looking at this OI analysis, what we have done, this is clearly the shots getting into the picture big time. But I would love to see these longs also carry some significant position. What can happen now till tomorrow morning 11? We would get to see some kind of an up move. You will see some kind of a profit booking happening before the budget. When I say before the budget, when you are positioning itself for something big tomorrow, you are already taking some position and you're taking already good profits. When you know that you're carrying some good profits, you wanted to lighten up the positions before the expire, and before the budget. That is something which can be happening tomorrow. Guys, when the event is there, you will not see the wicks and the IVs coming down. The wicks will come down only post the event. Say, for example, if the budget is going to be extremely good, okay, if the budget is going to be extremely good and other things, once the sellers are coming out, only then the wicks will be falling. If the wicks keep on rising along with the market keep rising, what is the clue you're getting? If the wicks is rising, you can expect some kind of sudden reversals to be happening. Okay, never underestimate when the market is moving higher. VIX is also moving higher. Try to be very, very cautious. Why I say that? Usually that is a sign wherein the sellers are adding up some positions at the higher level. The sellers usually, they don't like to move the position. They try to have some positions taken. Now, what has happened in the last few minutes now? Are you able to see that correlation happening? Guys, I can't be giving you much better example than this in the live market itself. The Dow is falling, the VIX is climbing. At higher level, you're getting to see some profit booking also emerging. This is unusual scenario with like the budget also coming up. In usual scenario, when you do not have the budget in place, these are the areas wherein we can expect some kind of an aggressive sellers coming in, taking the positions and so on. But at this juncture, any move today intraday, say for example, I told you to be watching out in this level in the morning. Now again, if they are coming towards 17,340, that will be a good opportunity area for me to do one round of a buy, provided a small support at super trend, which is at 17,380. For Nifty, 17,380, one small support, and 17,345 odd zones, a bigger support for the market at this current juncture. For the Bank Nifty, it is going to be a tough one to say because they are just going to be playing for the open and high. You might get to see some odd moves here and there, and then a big move happening. So anything is possible for the Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty can do a big sell-off happening, and then it can move higher as well. So watch out. Don't go for aggressive positioning at this juncture because Bank Nifty is for me is a weak link for me. It can move higher or move lower pretty quick on a quick time frame. Okay, so don't do anything which is going to be hurting yourself because you guys have, some of you have already made money. Some of the newbies who haven't been able to enter into this market, wait for the right opportunity. You already got one or two opportunities. Now better to stay on the sidelines. If you guys are not comfortable, stay on the sidelines. Very critical on a day like this. Guys, this is one day before the budget. You have seen how one day before the budget has been. Has it given you a large move? Any budgets? Except last year, 1% on the Bank Nifty. Now, what you're witnessing now? Already Bank Nifty is 1%, Nifty is close to 2%. That too before the budget itself. So which is clearly saying me, Shiva, the move has already been happening. Don't try to go for aggressive positioning. What are they using now? Which guy is coming into the support for you? When the move has happened, what did I say? The first line of defense will be always the pawn or the WMA. That guy is coming and giving you a support. The bigger support will be on the super trend, which is nothing but our knight. And then comes our bigger support, the rook or the VWAP for me. As of now, the pawn is giving me an absolutely beautiful support. On the way down, that guy will act as a resistance as well. But as of now, every support at that level, you are getting a minor move. Now, we have analyzed the data for the Nifty now. Okay, so Nifty, I would have loved to see the IVs going higher, but unfortunately, it's not the case. But for Bank Nifty, 50N and 51, both the sides, they say, Shiva, we wanted to just give an even Steven move. We are not going to be pulling down the premiums. Why many short straddle players will not be making money? Are you able to see the clue here? What is the clue you're getting at? Why the short straddle players will be staying away today? You're gaining 25% on the call side. You are getting only 20% on the put side. The premium erosion is not happening at all. The premium erosion is not happening at all. So in that scenario, short straddle players know it that they are not going to be making enough money. Better to stay on the sidelines. But keep a close tab on the Dow today. The Dow was 100 points or like an 80 points. Now slowly it has come down to 25 points now. Imagine if this Dow guy falls. Once the European markets open and this Dow guy falls close to 100 or 200 points in the negative, that may cause some kind of a dent on our market. But we may not react anything major till our event is over. Always remember, when the event is happening in your country, we will not be like in having a major impact on the outside world unless and until something drastic is happening. Imagine the Dow is falling 400, 500 points or 300 points, then we may see some negative reaction happening. But our market is going to be positioning themselves for something which is going to be announced in the budget tomorrow. So when they know that, they will not react much to this. Instead, they will react once our event is out of the way. Always remember that. Okay, always remember that. So this is going to be very, very critical. And today, which are the banks which is giving me all the moves? ICICI is giving me 140 points. HDFC is giving me 130. SBI is giving me 89 points. Out of this 300-point move, which you are seeing it on the Bank Nifty overall, the major chunk is coming in from ICICI and HDFC. So the remaining ones who are pulling it down, Kotak is pulling it down by like 100 points and IndusInd is pulling down by 73 points. So all other guys are giving you a positive momentum. If VIX is also raising, that is a clear sign that some of the shorts are building up their positions at the higher level. Are you able to see it? At the higher level, you are getting to see some kind of a fall. It's purely because once the VIX is starting to rise, it is giving a clue to the sellers that, guys, we are going to be building up some positions. The sellers are building up their positions at the higher level, which now the buyers are starting to book their profits. And one more thing, as per our connecting dots, the Dow is falling, VIX is rising. Naturally, you can expect these things to tend to happen. Now, what is that which you are preparing for tomorrow? What are the things which I want you to keep in mind for tomorrow's trade? I wouldn't be carrying any positions overnight today. You may get to see there are few possibilities which is going to be happening. I will tell you those so that you will understand why and what is the reason for me to not carry the position. Global market scenario is not conducive for our markets. Though the Dow market and everything is rallying, why I'm not saying conducive is purely because of the dollar index and other factors which is not helping me at all. The crude has been a spiking factor, which is not going to be good for a country like India. Dollar index, anything above 93 is not good. Already it has crossed 96, 97. It's absolutely not a good sign. Next, the USD INR. It has almost moved from 74, like in 73.5 levels in the last one month. It has gone to 75. Not a good sign. All these are not a good sign for Bank Nifty stocks because the bond yields are spiking, the Indian bond yields are spiking, and US market, it has just given many people would be saying, sure, US has just rallied 600 points. Yes, it has rallied 600 points. The pure reason is they have been selling off very, very fast and they're just doing in dead cat bounce. The real fun will begin when the US markets are rallying. I would love to see the Brent cooling down or like the dollar index cooling down. That's when we will get to see some kind of a positive divergence happening. Until that, it is going to be like in some kind of a wild moves here and there, and you will get to see moves happening wild. Get ready to witness that. Now, so Dow and other Bank Nifty and other things. Now, I told you about this WMA, right? As long as this guy is holding up, he's a soldier for you. Once that level is getting broken, he will act as a resistance. Okay, that guy will say, no, now you, as a king, you are not treating me well. I will go and join the opponent party. Okay, so they are going to be like a tough one. Once they break it again, but this is a weak support and a weak resistance. I would not be giving too much of importance to that as I give an importance to the super trend and the BWAP. So super trend, clearly a support has come in and they're just moving in higher, but who is dragging them? It's purely because of the bank nifty and then the global markets has been the one which is pulling it down. So Nifty, is it a buy on dips? Absolutely yes. But I would sincerely say you're not going to be getting much of premiums because they have done all the like an open and high on the Nifty. Unless and until they are going for the bank Nifty open and high, I would not be doing that. Now, we will take a small 10-minute break and then we will continue with the discussion on what am I expecting for tomorrow and what is our trade plan is going to be for tomorrow. Okay, we will take a 10-minute break and then we will continue with that. So how many of you got a different perspective altogether about the budget so far? I hope you guys would not have ever like reviewed the data as we have been doing it, right? So these are the some things which I want you to do it in the future as well, how the things have been getting it done. Okay, so even days, it's not like a regular day. You needed to look at so many other parameters, look at how the OI data is coming up, how the individual OI data they are preparing it, what is that which we wanted to know. Because like in the way I looked at the data individually, I want you guys to look at it, how the short buildup is happening for a week or a month, how they are preparing themselves, because big money is not going to come in and drop money on that expiry day alone. They are going to be preparing themselves. Okay, they are going to be preparing themselves. Yes, these PPTs are for our mentoring participants, which we have shared it. Okay, so this is like an not part of the budget day session. So budget day session, I'm going to be decoding the data and providing it to all of you. So these are the things which we normally like and train our like in mentoring participants, how we needed to like and look at the data and what are the things which we needed to see it and everything, prepare ourselves. Okay, now we will take a small break. We'll be back at 12:50 and then we will take it forward. Yes, the recording for this 3 days will be available. Today is not an ideal day for you to do sell. Okay, please better be prepared for both side wild moves. Okay, so T looks like after a brief pass, again both the Bank Nifty and the Nifty trying to take it higher. Are they going to be going for that open and high on 38,400? The good thing is volumes is picking up. Okay, the volume is picking up. Watch out for this. This is the only guy, 561. They just needed to go towards like in 580 in one candle. You will see these guys like in taking out the open and high on that one. But the only good news for you is for the past two candles, the volumes have been picking it up and they just needed to push one large candle either on the upside in case if they are planning to go for it. And I'm not expecting like in a major like in a downtick is also going to be happening unless the Dow moves pretty bad. The reason is they've recently made the like in a super trend one super trend break. Again, they came here, broke the super trend on the upside, which is usually a positive sign. Okay, very rarely you'll be getting to see the super trend getting broken in like in a quick 5-10 minutes time frame. If that is happening, that is not a good sign for the bears. The bears are not letting the market to go lower. Instead, they are just giving it back to the bulls. Now the bulls, they needed to show some kind of a spine to take it higher, because if they are not going to be doing it now, they know they are going to be in a real trouble in case if the Dow falls again. So someone who is thinking about chasing this open and high, be careful, because it can give you a wild move of 50 to 100 points on either side. It can go hit that 600 and then come back, or it can go to 450 and then come back to 600 as well. That's the kind of day which you are in. Be prepared for any kind of a move on either side now. Nifty, yes, it is on like in a buying spree. Every dip is a buying. But the only problem with Nifty is since it has already rallied close to 280, 300 points, not much of upside is left over there unless and until these guys give you a large move. So upside moves is very, very limited on the Nifty aspect. Maybe it can go up to like an 350, but the premiums may not move much. But in the Bank Nifty, you can easily get like a 30, 40 point premium. That's going to be very much a possibility. But in Nifty, that's the only thing which is not going to be a good news. These two guys, watch out these two guys. They are the like most important ones for me. Both HDFC and ICICI for the past 1 week or so, they have been underperforming. They have been making Axis and others give you the moves and other things, but these guys have not been giving you the moves what they wanted it. Now, when the real market moves in, that's when they needed to perform. Will they be doing that in a hurry when the others are like in moving it? Probably yes, we will get to see that. The funny thing is, though our market is now wanting to go up, the Dow is falling. So be careful over there, that angle now. They're just going to be playing on TikTok with you. When I say TikTok, these guys are just like making a move. That guys are like not making a move towards that direction. They are going to be playing all those games now. If the Dow goes in the negative, you might get to see some kind of a move again happening on the downside. Be careful with that. They just needed like one large bar. That's something which is missing now. Looks like they are heading for that. I'm just trying to catch the momentum over there. My stop loss for this trade would be somewhere around like in 500 odd zones, guys. I'm just going to be looking for that 40, 50 rupees. Like in case if it is quickly moving above my buy price, I will trail it. That's something which I'm looking at it. 571 is our average now. We got around like in 300 quantities. going for the open and high trade, nothing else. Guys, my risk appetite is totally different from yours, so please do not try to mimic my trades. I'm telling you, if the trade goes against me, I'm ready to book my loss as well. Because on a day like this, anything is possible. Be prepared for all the eventuality. Even if the trade goes quickly 100 points lower, I'm ready to book my loss. That's the kind of mindset I will be going in with any kind of a trade. If you look at it, I would have deployed around like in a 2-3% of my capital here. Not even 2%. So don't try to mimic me without knowing what it is. I'm just taking few positions here at 550. 5. Currently, we have a quantity of almost 400 at an average of 568. If it is quickly retracing back, my stop loss for this trade would be somewhere around 500 odd zone. So I'll be using my intraday profits as my stop loss for this trade. Look at this data on the Nifty. It is still showing me the bullishness. Yes, that's a good sign. On the Bank Nifty, can you see the difference now? From 33, it has slowly starting to come down towards like in 26 odd zones, which is clearly suggesting me these guys, as they are going like in what to say, higher and higher, they're starting to cover their position. I would love to see this gap narrowing down and then becoming into the bullish territory. Will they do it? So when you're chasing for the open and high, always chase for the momentum. And when you're booking the profits, don't wait for this price. 5 rupees below that level, try to exit it. The reason is sometimes once they hit that number, you will see a sudden reversal happening. That's the reason I don't want to like and hold it beyond once the open and high is hit. Always, once it is hit, take a bow, get out of the trade, move on to the next one. Now it is above our buy price. Keep it ready. First and foremost is like, and once it is above your buy price, first your mind should be like in thinking about protecting the capital. Then the next step. I'm placing it because it is like in hovering around that zone for quite a few times. You can clearly see it has like an taken like in whatever the trade which we have kept. Again, I'm buying it because I'm just buying it below the price at which I got it. So now I can use my profits, whatever that I have gained, as my stop loss. Now, if you look at it, my BEP has come down to 560. I have around 200 quantities now. So now, in case if I wanted to take a risk with a smaller quantity, this is how I will do it. If you feel, no, it is not going to be like in making you any kind of a move, we can take a trade, place an initial stop loss. Once it is up moving above your buy price again, trail it. Looks like they wanted to take it very slow. The premium moves are like and happening very, very slow, guys. Nope. It is keep booking the profits. Guys, remember, please take the profits as and when it is moving higher and lower, and I'm expecting a reversals to be happening once it hits at 600. Bought around another 100 quantities. And just only taking a small risk using my profit. I'm going to be like in taking the trades here. So we bought it at around like in 574 and 572. Now it is at like in 566. You can clearly see, unless the price goes to 45.40, I will be in a profit on this line item. If it goes to quickly 540, I will average my position over there. Now I know I'm not risking my capital. I'm only going to be risking my profits, whatever that I have gained. But normally what many people do is once you take like in a big profit, then you like and try to go for a bigger one. In that process, you like and try to scale up your positions, do everything, then you lose out everything. Always cut down your position. Only play for what is, even with a small quantity, you should be able to achieve your target. That's something your focus should be on. Now, unless and until it goes below 550, my line item on this one is not going to be in a loss. So you must have been wondering, right? How come Shiva is able to like and make all the lines in green? Now you know the reasons. My primary focus is not to lose my money first. Once you keep doing that, automatically the things will be in your favor in the long run. This is mainly to show even with a small capital, you should be able to do it. Not necessary every time you should be buying 1,000, 2,000 quantities to make. Even with like an 1 lot, 2 lot, 3 lots and 4 lots, you should be able to hit your numbers. Keep that in mind. If it comes towards like an 550, I might average some more. Because on the way up, I can easily get out of the trade pretty quick. I'm just adding a 2 lot here. It is almost coming to my cost. I'm adding a couple of more lots here. Now my quantity is close to 300 with an average at 552. Already we are sitting on a profit. Even if now wanted to like an exit, we can. But I'm just waiting to see whether it has potential to cross at 565, 570, then it can quickly move. But it has been like an hovering around that price zone, right? So this is what is going to be very tricky on a day like this. They just wanted to do it, but they're not doing it when we wanted it. That's the problem with this market. But sometimes this is where the traders' frustrations will be creeping in. They know they are like and seeing the profits right in front of the highs, and then again it is going into the loss, and then they will panic and then don't know what to do, and then they will do the revenge trading. Don't do that. Prepare for any eventualities. Even if they go lower, okay, this is what I wanted to achieve. I've done that, and then stay out. Done that, stay out. That should be your focus on. It is just like a not able to cross that 565 mark. Can you see that? The Dow is also been like and falling from 45 to 20, and then it is moving to 45, again coming back. The Dow factor has also been playing out something on the minds of the investors over there. Look at that. The fall is happening pretty steep now. The Dow is falling pretty steep. I'm not going to be averaging my position unless it comes to this level. Okay, already the super trend trade has been like and playing out and everything. I wanted these guys to come towards the zone of 38,067 for me to average in case if I wanted to. Otherwise, let it hold with my existing position. Now almost from 3,000 loss, again, it is back to like in profits. This is crazy volatility. Please, people, this market, if you're not able to like and manage it, stay light, stay light. I wanted it to cross at 565, 570 mark so that I can trail it. Looking forward for that to be moved pretty quick. They're almost getting there. It's not able to sustain above that level. Can you see that every time they go to 570, they are getting the profit booking. So it looks like they don't want to even go for the like an open and high. Before that, they just wanted to book the profits. Now I'm trailing it. Even if it is going to like in a lower position, I will not be like repenting about it because it has crossed a 570, which I wanted it. I've trailed my stop loss. Now going to be like in getting it closer. Even if it triggers, it's okay. Because it's not able to push it farther. Looks like it may trigger our stop loss. I'm keeping it closer and closer now. Okay, it didn't. Can you see that this time it didn't trigger our stop loss, though it was closer and closer. Now I have kept it at 572 to 575. Now I'm going to be keeping it at 576 to 578. Done. It has hit our like in a number. So we got almost like in a 7K on the trade. So 17,000 is the overall profit on this one. Now, in terms of like in 1%, from morning, how many trades we would have taken? Now, already we have achieved more than 1% on this login. Simple, neat game, no stress, no relax. Even on a normal day like this, we will be able to achieve the target. Guys, as a scalper, my intention is to protect my capital and at the same time keep on doing it. Why not 38,200? 38,200 is looks like it is already they're not there. 6.1 and 6.76. No. The open and high is not there. The open and the high price should be matching in the morning. Now, will I be worried about this? Because we got our positions got squared off at 576 to 578. Now it is trading at 572. So done for the day on that one. Now I will come back. What is going to be the game plan for tomorrow? I think that is like, and slowly but surely they are getting towards the target. So watch out, but don't think about holding your position for too long. Get yourself in the act, get done, and then move out. Now it will surely hit, but that is there because we have come out of the position, right? 580, another 18 more rupees. It's a slow and a painful move. Now, the most important thing is always remember when you're taking multiple trades, okay, you can use the previous profit for your next trade. That's the approach I wanted you to think about it. Keep booking some profits and use it for the next trade so that you know you're not going to be risking your capital and you will have something to back up on. That automatically gives you a bigger advantage. Yes, trading is all about like a mindset game. And to get the positive mindset, how will you get that? Why 90% of you have a fear when you're taking a trade? You have a fear because you are going to be losing something out of your capital and which you don't want to lose. As a human mind, we don't want to lose anything, whether it may be in a game, whether it may be in a fight or whatever it is, we don't want to lose. That is our human mindset. But in trading, if you're not prepared to lose, it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve success. Because if your mind is not accepting that I'm ready to lose this money, whatever that I'm going into the trade, it's always going to be very difficult. You cannot be 100% successful in all the trades you're going to be going in. Have a plan. Okay, this trade is going against me, where I should be exiting it. Out of 10 trades, 2 trades will go against you, but you should be able to cut down your loss on those 2 trades. That is what will determine you. Even if you're getting a small profits on the remaining 8 trades, you will still be able to survive in the market. You may make like an 8 trades, like an absolutely beautifully, like in small 1,000 rupees. But one trade, if you're losing 20K, then it doesn't make sense. Get ready to lose 2 to 3%, not more than that. Okay, how will you have the fear of like losing? The only way is bring in money that you can afford to lose in the market. If you're going to be thinking about whatever the money which I'm using today, I cannot even lose single rupee from that, market is not going to give you anything, because we bound to make mistakes. As a human, we bound to make mistakes, and you will not have that control when you're making a mistake. That's a problem. Okay, so what is the game plan for tomorrow for me now? Between 9:15 and 11, no major positions. Keep observing the markets. Okay, say for example tonight, if the global markets are falling, tonight, we will be observing it very carefully. Imagine if the Dow is doing a profit booking after yesterday's Friday's rally. So that is going to be on the weak foot. But for some reason, if the global markets are rallying tonight, okay, and the bond yields and the dollar index and the crude, everything is falling, that's going to be an added advantage. Tomorrow morning, yes, we may get a positive opening and other things, but wait till the event is over. I'm expecting the event to get over by 12:30, 12:45 tomorrow. Between 1 o'clock to 3:30, it is your time. In case if the positioning is happening in the morning itself, if someone is clearly like and creating a lot of positions in the morning itself, you'll get a clue. Okay. Once that move is happening, for some reasons, if charts are building up the positions tomorrow morning, by 12 o'clock, they are not happy with whatever the information or like and whatever the announcements coming in the budget, you will see the fall happening after 12:31. And see at the time whether they are adding more position or are they booking their profits. If they are adding more positions, then you can expect like the day to be like grinding lower and lower. One more thing, as we have seen in the past patterns, the initial moves can be little to trap people. Why? They don't want everybody to be towards the finishing line either on the upside or on the downside. They will make moves to trigger the stop losses similar to this. So you might get to see like in one candle coming down pretty hard with the volume to trap the people, and then the moves will be happening. Always wait for some volume pickup happening. Tomorrow is going to be a very crucial day for you to get the 2 candle theory. And once the 2 candle theory coming up, either on the upside or on the downside, we will wait for the RSI to cool off a bit towards like in 75 to 80, get in on the long. If it is going to be on the put side, we needed to see the RSI scaling above the 20 to 25 to 30 mark, and then we will enter. Okay, that is exactly my game plan for tomorrow. And I don't want to say, for example, if you're a positional player, use the first candle low as your stop loss. If you're a scalper, use the previous candle low as your stop loss. As the move is happening, in case if you're entering on the third candle, the previous candle low will be a stop loss. Then once the market moves, this candle low will be a stop loss. As and when it is coming down, book your profits and get out. In case if the market is moving and then it is staying there, once you get a significant move, use the respective candle lows as your stop loss. But positional players, Don't move your stop loss until and unless you see another 200-point move happening on the upside, and then you can shift it another 100 points, then shift it another 100 points. Slowly move it higher and higher. Don't try to keep on moving it like in a scalper, like every candle. Positional players, normally when they take a position, they will play for the whole day. Okay. And for me, if I'm a scalper, if I'm using a 3-minute time frame, you guys can use 15 minutes to hourly time frame. Don't use the same scalper time frame to determine your stop losses. Now it went closer. Now you can clearly see again a profit booking coming in at higher level. It is at back at 550 odd zones. Okay, now we will wait it to see whether it is going near to the super trend. What's happening with the Nifty? Nifty is also like an heading there. Don't try to enter on this one because already like in multiple times the WMA has given a support and it is not going to be holding it every time they come in there. And moreover, I would love to see this guys like in taking a support at this level of 38,000. I wanted to know whether they are going to be coming there with the volume and they are going to be holding that level. If they're doing that, then that will be the big one for me. Are they going to be coming there to that level? That's something which I'll be keenly watching for. So now we know tomorrow which direction. But one thing which is like in saying based on the historical data is the market is on like in a high expectation this budget. Why? Because of the budget in election. So every time they come here, take a reversal and then move it. So will they be able to do it again? So let's see that. Let's see that. Guys, the last 10 days, the FIs have been short because purely because of the some of the factors which is not going to be conducive for like an investment in India at this current juncture. They know they're not going to be getting higher returns when the dollar index is going to be spiking, when the like in bond yields, and moreover their money at the US itself in a sell-off. When they know that the global market is in a sell-off, when a meltdown, and they are not expecting India to be like an outperforming. That's the reason you are getting to see a massive sell-off happening by the FIs in the last 15 days or whatever it is. They have been selling it in the last like in 1 year or so, but this is not going to be a good news now. Okay, so that's the reason you're getting to see the FII sell-off. But to me, tomorrow will be a make or break day for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. If for some reason, if the budget is not getting liked, you will see a bigger fall. The fall will be like an absolutely heading towards the 200-day moving average, and the fall can be attributed further low as well. Moreover, you just needed to look at this data. On the way up, they went higher, and then on the way down, they're just like making a small move and then making a large move at this juncture to consolidate and then pull it lower or higher. So both the parties have a very equal chance, considering if the market is giving them a golden opportunity tomorrow, both the bull and the bear will be able to force the opponent party to cover their position. So at the end of the day, it is all going to be determined by the budget, and any like a tax announcement, any tax announcement on the reach is going to be like not going to be liked by the market. Listen to that very carefully tomorrow. We'll be like focusing on that. Any tax component which is going to be announced by the like finance minister to tax the rich, that's not going to be liked. Again, there has been a rumor which has been going on the LTCG, like increasing it to like in 3 years. That's again not going to be a good idea. Or increasing the LTCG tax from 10% to 15%, that is again not going to be a good one. Okay, those two things, be careful, because those things can sentimentally negative for the market. And one more thing which can happen, what the government normally does is, when say for example, they will be asking LIC to come into the picture in case if there is going to be like a significant fall happening, because they know they don't want to showcase the budget as like a really a bad one, and if they don't want to show that, they needed someone to support the market at the lower level. Avoid trades after 2:30 if there is going to be like a wild move. But in case if there is like a big fall happening and the short covering is not that big, then if you are still in a loss, I would consider taking it as an overnight position in that scenario. Okay, so tomorrow as the event's happening, I will let you know in case if there is going to be like some event folding out on either side, so that we will be able to decide on which direction we needed to be taking it upon. Okay, so that's going to be very critical. Guys, don't look at one day before this. As I told you, the option chain data one day before the expiry, it is always going to be giving you a clue that both the side these guys wanted to take some positions. Even now, look at why only the round strikes you are seeing the maximum OI buildup and other things, purely because that is where the maximum action is expected to be happening. Look at where the maximum action is happening today. The volume is happening at 37,000. That means someone is literally thinking that this market can give them a reward at the lower level, and they're just doing a lot of trades there. It can be like a big trap also for them tomorrow. In case if the move is not happening on the downside, they might be losing a big one. But if something is happening with the volume, you always needed to put your everything over there. Usually this is not going to be happening without any kind of an information. So if 37K is building up maximum like moves, look at this, the shorts are building up, but the shorts are not building up in a massive way, which is also suggesting me, Shiva, like, be careful. There can be a downslide as well tomorrow. If there is a short happening, I would love to see this 173 to 595. It has gone to 760 on the long buildup, but the 760 has to go to like almost 12, 13 lakhs or 14 lakhs. That would have given me like a lot more confidence that yes, in spite of the market falling, these guys are adding massive positions. As of now, they're hesitating to take the action. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that the bears are still in the game. Yes, we are going to be having an economic survey coming in at around 2:30. So what is that which I wanted it? The economic survey is like giving you a clue what you can expect it from the budget. Okay, it is going to be telling you what the government have achieved and what is the target for the coming year and what are the plans for their next year in case that there are going to be any expenditure plan or like an additional borrowing plan and other things. If there is going to be a massive borrowing and they are not going to be doing much of investment, then it is not going to be liked by the market. They always like to see whatever the money that is being borrowed by the government, it is spent extensively on infrastructure. They're going to go for the development. They're going to go for like capex and all those things. If they're going to be making all those announcements, those are the things which the market will be absolutely delighted to hear. If they're just going to be hearing the story about the money is going to be spent on to provide a free ration to the people, and always market doesn't like giving freebies, okay, because that is going to be putting up the pressure on the fiscal deficit. So market would love to hear what these guys are planning to do for the next 1 year. The economic survey, which is going to be tabled in the parliament at around 2:30 today, is needed to give you that clue. Okay, that has to say our government is going to be focusing on the capex. Our government is going to be focusing on like a road infrastructure. Our government is going to be making another 10 more new airways or 10 more new airports and all those things. Those are the things which the market would love to hear. Okay, so watch out for that, whether that is going to be coming out. That's very, very critical. Okay, one more round, falling below. Let's see how it is going to go. Guys, as I told you, hedging today is not an ideal option. What time should I hedge? The budget is going to be announced at 11. The premiums are already like a sky high. If you're looking at 38,000, look at this, 740 to 667. these premiums are not going to be like in a good news for you. Imagine if there is going to be like in a counter move and other things, you will see like in a significant erosion happening. So the best time for you to do it is going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow, when the move is happening at around 11 o'clock, in case if you're getting, say for example, 1,000 points away, okay, if you're getting like in a big crash happening, the IV crash happening, that will be the moment wherein we can go and hedge my positions on either side. 500 to 1,000 points will be the range. Considering whatever the moves been happening, I would sincerely say 500-point hedge would be the best thing to do at this juncture, not even like in 1,000 points, because the premiums are crazy. Imagine if the premiums are crashing tomorrow, then yes, it makes like in a different sense altogether for us to think about it. But at this current juncture, don't go for like an aggressive hedging position, because once we get the move on a single direction, we will be able to focus and get whatever that we wanted to do it. Sometimes some of you will not be able to adjust your positions, so don't do that. When I do the hedging, go for this like in a strangle chart. Okay. Imagine you wanted to like an take out trade. Currently it is trading at 38,000. Okay. On the call side, I will go for like in 39. On the put side, 37. Okay. Currently the combined premium is around like in 630. So that means you needed like an at least 1,600 point move to get this premium at least. So it is going to be like a tough ask. Don't try to indulge in this kind of an environment wherein you will be getting stuck. Okay. So always remember, we need the moves to be in our favor, and the premiums also needed to be like in lower. I would take, in case of the premiums is around like in 200, 200, 400 to the max, I will try to hedge my position. Okay, 200, 200, 400 to the max, because this is like a 1,000-point move which we are expecting it. So we needed like an at least 2 to 3% move on the bank nifty, and that can happen. I'm not saying it will not happen, but buying it at that premium, then you will get stuck at the whole day for like in this position, and you will be wondering, should I be holding it or should I be exiting my position? Should I hold or should I exit? That's not going to be an ideal way to do it. Okay, let's wait till like in 12, 12:30. We might get a golden opportunity. So Bank Nifty, once again, coming near to the support area of this VWAP and this area of 38,073. And now look at all the banks, everybody is like falling now. So clearly the Bank Nifty is the weak link and they're just not letting it fall. But here, this is the area wherein I wanted to see whether they are supporting it. And it is all happening with a little bit of volume. So that's something which is going to be a cause of a concern for me. Okay, so let's watch out for that. No, they are not preparing for 41,000. They are preparing, hedging their positions. Imagine if I wanted to be heavily short on this market, I do not know whether the market is going to be moving higher or lower tomorrow. If there is going to be like in some positive announcement, it can move on either side, right? So I needed to hedge my position. That's the reason you are seeing 41,000 is having a massive open interest buildup. So people who are wondering why the 41,000 is having a massive open interest buildup is purely because of that. You can clearly see these guys are not letting it to fall pretty quick. They are just like and making sure I'm not going to be like and letting it so quick. They're just making all the efforts in the world to like and hold that level. Will they be able to hold it, or they're going to be breaking that level? Another 20 more seconds. We'll get to know that. 5 more seconds. Guys, in a normal day, we can keep a stop loss at like in 25, 30 points. But on a day like this, when the premiums are crazy, when the moves are wild, you needed to at least have like a 100 point, like in a wider stop loss. Otherwise, no point in taking a trade on this market. Now, it is almost breaking that level. Can you see what has happened here? It has fallen with volume. And then the follow-up happening below the VWAP with the volume. In case of this one breaks these two levels with the volume, then that's not going to be good news for the bulls. Most important thing is parabolic SAR is above, super trend, the PSR, and then it is breaking the VWAP and it is happening with the volume. And what is the RSI is also suggesting? Is it all like an all the dots are getting connected for us to become like in a bullish or bearish here? Is the two candle theory is perfectly trying to get it there? All the parameters, what we have learned so far, is it working now? What are the things? If the index traders below the VWAP, what are the things which we wanted it? Open interest shows lot short buildup or long unwinding. I'll show you that. Wait a minute. Can you see this? Open interest is short buildup. Next one, RSI between 40 and 25. Clearly it is below the 40 mark. Volume of 2 consecutive bars above like in 50. Yes, you are getting it. Next one, all your soldiers, bishop, pawn, knight and rook above the candles. All these guys are above the candles. You can clearly see it. The next one, then deploy king as your resource. Once that move has happened, we will deploy it in the third candle. Now this is like in a history now, right? It is little far off, almost like in 100 rupees away. So in this scenario, I'm going to be looking at like in 30, all the premiums are like in crazy. I will just like and try to look at small trades here and there. This candle, another 20 more seconds to go. Okay, I wanted these guys to close the candle. Don't try to enter without closing because it can go and close above the VWAP as well. Okay, wait till the VWAP is getting like done, whether it is closing below the VWAP with all the parameters fulfilled, another 6 more seconds. Can they do it? Because all the parameters are suggesting me the short buildup is happening here. And if you go and look at it, like it has fulfilled now. What I will do is, we will take a quick trade on this one, keeping the first candle high as our stop loss. Though it is like an event day, I'm just playing for a small trade, nothing else. Okay. So event days, it is very risky, but we are just like in playing for this trade. We have got some trades there. So some 350 quantities. Where is my stop loss now? The stop loss will be somewhere around here. I'll just draw the line. So in case if the market is moving higher, I will exit my position here. Okay. This is going to be my stop loss level. Can they move it higher, or are they going to be like in making a one more round of a move? The Dow, in the meantime, what has happened now? From almost in the green, now it has gone into the red territory. So now, how much quantity I have? I have around 400. Now it is at 648. It is hanging a bit. My supplication. One sec, guys. So if it is crossing the 650 mark, then we can easily trail it. That's exactly I'm looking for. Can they do that? One quick move. All they need is just like in a one quick move. Will they do that quickly? It is heading towards that 645, 648, but it is not able to cross that 650 mark. Once it is able to do that, then probably, yes, we may get to see like in a one quick move happening on the downside. Will they be doing that now, or are they going to be like in closing it above this level? So we are just following the two candle theory here. Time is around 1:30. All the parameters are intact for me to hold this trade at this juncture. Unless this level of 38,140 is getting broken on today, it is going to be like a golden opportunity for me. And one more thing, all we need is just like one more candle on the downside for us to get our target down. It is just to showcase how to play on the two candle theory now. Guys, in case if trade goes against me, I will probably hold it till like in 580. I don't want to hold it beyond that. Maximum of 40, 50 points. That's going to be my stop loss for this trade, and we can afford to take that risk. So bulls are trying to take it higher. Let them do it. In case if they're going near here, I will just try to add some position. In the meantime, just look at the data here. Bank Nifty once again, slowly starting to add some positions, and then here as well. That's good. Are they giving me like in some kind of a clue on the long unwinding? Yes, they are adding some positions here. They are adding the long unwinding here. Perfect clues. Now, one more clue which I wanted is on the futures data. Can you see what has happened here? The shorts are slowly coming into the picture. That's a good sign. Now our price is also above that 650 mark. I'm wanting to see whether the volatility is coming down or like an increasing. Now I have placed it, so I don't have any option other than to like not lose this trade now. I may get my stop loss getting triggered 5-10 points, but on a day like this, it has triggered and then it is moving. It's absolutely fine. Sometimes that's the way it is. You needed to accept it. Look at the way we just placed it. It went to 670, came back, hit our stop loss, and then moving there. Still, we are not going to be repenting about it. Okay, that is the game, and you have to accept it sometimes. Guys, how many of you are still trailing? Guys, two candle theory has been covered in the mentoring program last week. When we connected the dots, we did that. Hope you guys are in more profits now. It is like I'm going to be giving a wild move on both the sides. So be careful. Don't try to hold your positions way too long. It is moving below our buy price now. It triggered, came back to 640 now. Can you see that? And again, 650. This is the problem with this weak market. It's okay. Still, as a two candle theory, in a normal market, we will be able to make much bigger money. But if we are able to make even in this volatile environment, when the news flow and everything is heavy, you should be able to apply this in a normal market. Trailing stop loss hit, it's absolutely fine. You can't do much because the market is like that. How many of you made 2% now? Some of you would have made that. Some of you would have made 1%, but be happy with this. You have to be like applying your knowledge. Guys, what are the things which you are learning? If you're not going to be like applying that, then I can't help it. Great, great. Now with that note, we will go for the lunch break. The most important thing is enjoy whatever the little profits you are able to get it and then keep on moving. Okay. But it is sell on rise at this current juncture for the Bank Nifty at least. Guys, I don't use PCR much nowadays because PCR is not giving like a much of considering the overbought and oversold territory. I use the RSI instead of that because PCR values are like a no match at this current juncture. Okay, on that note, we'll go for the lunch break. We'll be back by 2:20. Okay, guys, don't do much of any aggressive trades. Stay light. You got a golden opportunity, made money, stay light. All we need is just one candle similar to this. That's it. Done. Our day is done. Stay light now. Now you know the reasons why I don't want you to hold your trades. See, why I always insist on keep trailing it. Now you would have got the answer. So team, we are back. Guys, the reason why we didn't choose like in much of OTM strikes is purely because the market is in a range wherein it can either move on the higher end or on the lower end. So don't necessarily like and try to go on all the time like in deep in the money. Moreover, the premiums are so crazy, right? So you can play around in this at the money and in the money as well. So currently, if you are planning to try to play between 37,500 to 38,500. Those are the range which is going to be very important on a market like this. I think now the market, now it is in a spring wherein it can take and move on the upside. Why I say that it can move on the upside? Now look at this. The OI data has been like in suggesting that yes, the shorts were building up the position and other things, but unfortunately the shorts were not able to take it lower, and the global markets is also like in slowly recovering from the lower levels. In that scenario, you can expect some kind of a positive momentum also to be happening. And moreover, this is the level which I was telling you. If this level is getting breached, then there is no point in holding your short trades. Your intraday scalps, whatever that you wanted it, you would have got all those scalps done. Now it is time for you to stay away. Moreover, the time is around like in 14:20. Anything after 2:20 to 3:30, it is not for you. It is usually for the big boys to position themselves for the next day trade. Don't go for aggressive positioning with 1 day to go for the event. It's always not a wise idea. Now, let's review the data for a minute. Short covering and then a short build up, followed by the long build up, short covering, short build up, and then the long build up. So clearly the day is not belonging to any one particular category. When I say any particular category, either a long or a short, both these guys are playing an equal kind of a game. If the 1 hour, if it is shorts are trying to take the market lower, the next hour the longs are coming back and then taking the market higher. This is not an ideal day wherein you will be getting a trend. So trend is not available, but now you need it to use based on the chart. So if it is going to be trading below the VWAP, super trend and everything, then we will try to take a put trade. If it is going to be staying above, now all the signals are giving you a positive momentum. PSR is below, super trend is below, VWAP is below, WMP is below, RSI is above the 50 mark. You can clearly see the RSI taking a support and then moving it higher. So all the indicators, 5 indicators which we are using, all of them are giving you a buy signal. And along with that, you are able to see the global markets also in the positive territory. Now the Dow has gone to 40, 50 points in the negative. Now slowly it is coming towards a 40, like in a higher end, which is also suggesting that it is getting into like in a buy on dips. As I told you, as long as the VWAP, that is going to be the crucial line in the sand, right? Between a bull and a bear. If these guys are going to be maintaining it above that level, it is going to be a buy on dips. Only difference is it's events which is playing out. So they are just going to be like taking your stop losses and other things on both the sides and then moving it out. So be careful on that angle alone. Okay, so someone who's wondering why, in spite of the market moving lower, the put OI is increasing or put OI is like reducing. In the Bank Nifty, we are not seeing much of like put OI increasing even after the fall. When the fall is happening, I should have seen that open interest keep on building up. Can you see that the 11:15 was the last time wherein we saw the open interest at like 33. After that, it has been continuously falling. Now it is at 23 lakhs. This is clearly suggesting the shorts are not building up the position even on the call side as well. What is happening with the here? From 10 lakh, slowly it has gone to 17 lakh. Almost a 50%, 60% increase has happened, which is suggesting once the fall has happened, the shorts have come into the picture. How do we know that? Look at the data from 38,500 on an hourly time frame. You can clearly see shorts have started to cover, shorts are starting to build. This is on 38,500. Look at one by one. you will be able to see a similar kind of a picture emerging. The most important one is going to be on the 38K. Here, the shorts are building up the position. Longs, again, the long unwinding happening. Interesting thing is, when the long buildup happened, 55 rupees went higher. When the long unwinding happening, only 11 rupees is going lower, which is clearly suggesting it's not a supply, it's a demand. If it is a supply with 1 lakh quantity, you would have seen a 100 rupee fall or 150 rupee fall, which is not happening. Now, again, the shorts are coming into the picture.